Hi and welcome. My name is Travis and this is class 4 of my beginners series filmed on location in Ubud in Bali. Thank you for joining me. So this is the class that's beginning to just add that tiny bit of intensity and new postures before we head into our release series. So my thoughts were you could take 1, 2 or 3 of the classes that you've previously done, do them, do the 4th class, and then the 5th class is the release series to stretch it all out, which will equal around 45 minutes to 60 minutes. But it's entirely up to you, and you can do them individually. It doesn't matter. But anyway, with that in mind, thank you for joining me. Welcome. And let's begin by lying down on our backs. And we're going to get straight into it. So when we bring ourselves onto our backs, let's hug the knees in and give ourselves a big cuddle and a lovely big squeeze. And so what I'm going to do on our backs is introduce eagle pose. So we've done chair already, and now eagle adds another dimension. So as you let go of that little hug in, let the soles of the feet come to the mat. And then lift your right leg up so the right ankle comes onto your left thigh. And then just create this figure 4 shape here. So your back body's on the mat. You can lift your head and look. So you've just got this strange kind of 4 shape there. And just let that settle in, because that's it with the legs. We'll create this when we're standing up in a moment. And then just take your right arm straight up to the sky. Cross your left arm over the top. Option 1 would be to hold your shoulders, opposite shoulders, or perhaps you can interlace your forearms and see if you can hold the hands. Okay, so we've got shoulders, interlace the forearms, twisting the, interlace the fingers, I beg your pardon, by twisting the forearms together. Nice, so we're actually, getting a lovely good stretch here to prepare us for our practice. So we can stay here, and by pressing the forearms up towards the sky and pressing the back body into the earth, we're getting this sense of push-pull in the upper body. And so even if you're holding the shoulders, you can still elevate the elbows, okay? So hold there. And then let all that go. Uncross the leg, right ankle over the left thigh, and just take a moment to settle in. And integrate and absorb those shapes. And then let's do the same thing again on the other side. So lift your left knee up and let the left ankle cross over your right thigh. There's your figure 4 shape. You can lift your head, look, check, see what I'm talking about. Ankles roughly around the knee there, just below the knee on the thigh. And in this orientation, it actually is like below the knee because of the way the body is, but it's actually anatomically, the ankle is above the knee when we're standing up. So we're obviously just upside down a little bit. Anyway, lots of words there. Sorry about that. Left arm up to the sky. So point the left arm straight up. Take your right arm over the top. So sweep the hands to hold your elbows and lift, hold your shoulders and lift the elbows. Or maybe the forearms interlace and the fingers can be held at the hands. So that could work as well. And just let all that integrate and absorb. And then I'll encourage you to uncross, unbind, and let's bring the knees in and roll onto our favorite hip, swinging ourselves around, planting the hands at the top of the mat, stepping back to a tabletop. And let's just take a quick little CatCow just to integrate the body and the breath. It's always nice to remember to move a little. And you know what, if you are doing this class for the first time, while you're here, you might like to just lift and lower the palms. I didn't mean first time, I meant that if you're doing this without doing a warm-up in one of the other classes, so this could feel nice. Then palms down, sway from left to right across your upper back. Okay, really good. Step into a downward facing dog. So pressing the chest towards the thighs, looking back at the big toes, nodding the head, bending the knees. And then taking your time to walk forward. Feet to hip width. Find a halfway lift, inhale. And a deep fold, exhale. And take yourself up to the sky, inhale. Palms touch overhead, hands through heart center. Big toes come to touch. Sit down into our chair. So we'll take a couple of breaths here as we sweep the arms overhead, biceps to ears. If that's not available, extend the arms forward and hold them there. Or if you need to hold your shoulders, that's okay. We're just going to stay for another 3 breaths. So there's a little bit of single leg balance work here, so get ready for that sort of intensity. I told you we'd be stepping it up a little bit. So now stand up and bring your right knee up with you, and then cross the right ankle on the left thigh. So we did this first time round last time. Sit down into the seat. Okay, it's right arm first out in front of you, and then lift the left arm up, cross it over the right. Shoulders was an option, binding up, lifting. And then remember, we're pressing the forearms forward, and we're pressing the heart and lungs behind us. Hold for 3, for 2, and for 1. Unravel all that, so let it all go. Bring your knee up with you as you take your hands up, and then sweep into an aeroplane. So it doesn't take a lot of imagination here to understand what I'm saying. It's an aeroplane pose. We've got wings out to the side, the back legs lifted. And if your leg's more like this, that's okay. If it's more right up here, well done. It's up to you, yogi's choice. Okay, good work. We're going to bring the knee in towards us. Give us a lovely big squeeze. And then we're going to set up our tree pose. So catch the foot, bring the foot onto the upper thigh, the calf, or the kickstand on the earth. So I'll just rotate away from you. Remind you, you've got your upper thigh, calf, or a kickstand on the earth. I'm going to take the kickstand on the earth, bring my hands to my hips, stand nice and tall like a beautiful noble oak tree, and then bring our hands to heart center, palms to touch. And we'll take 5 nourishing, big, deep breaths there. Good job. Now step the foot down. Roll the shoulders, sway it out, pedal it out. Move in a way that feels really natural, almost childlike. And then we'll come back and do it all again. So big toes touch. We sit down into our seat. So there's our chair pose. Arms are up, parallel with the earth, holding the shoulders. Could even cactus the arms. I forgot about that one. So there's a couple of choices. And then in the next breath, on an inhale, stand up, but bring your left knee with you. And then cross the left ankle onto the right thigh as we sit the seat down. So it's your left arm out first and the right arm over the top. Shoulders or interlace and lift. Now we talk about this sense of focus point on the horizon, and in the yogic tradition we call that drishti. So see if you've got a little spot or dot on the wall in front of you that you can just stare at. See if it helps you with your balance. And then keep that keep the eyes on that dot and swing into an aeroplane pose. So extend the leg, reach the arms back, squeeze the shoulder blades. And then shift forward into single leg Tadasana. So arms up, knee up. And then catch the foot. Is it upper thigh, calf, or kickstand? I'll come with you on kickstand. Good job. Now there's your release. Step the foot down. Sway around a little. Pedal the feet. Nod the head. And then we take our hands up to the sky. Inhale, palms touch. And we'll step into a squat position. So bring the hands through heart center. Step the feet wide. Point the toes out. And start to sit down into your squat position. And then once again, we're going to take our hands behind us. And we're going to sit down on our buttocks. Extend the legs out in front of us. Bring the right knee in towards, right foot into the upper thigh. So we're taking a seated tree now. In this position, we're going to find ourselves with the right knee out wide, the right sole of foot in the upper left thigh. Square your chest to the left big toe. Sweep the hands up, look up, reach up, and then roll down the left leg. See if we can hold the left foot. Now, if you can hold the foot, if you can't hold the foot, you could have your hands on the mat next to you. You can maybe have your hands on your calf or your shin. Remember, you can feel okay here. This can be such a lovely, lovely stretch as well. Now, if you'd like something a little different here, you can take your right hand up and overhead, plant the right hand behind you, lift the hips, and swing the left hand back into a rock star position. So the pelvis lifts, the head looks back behind you. And then you slowly start to sit back down, and let's switch it all over. So take the right leg long, left knee bent, left foot into your upper right thigh. So squaring your chest to your big toe, taking your hands up, and feeling free to find whatever variation works for you, whether the hands are just out there, and they're closer towards you, holding the shin, calf, or knee. Maybe you can hold the foot. And then stay there, or if you'd like that rock star and it felt good on the other side, it's the left hand that lifts up, left hand plants at the back of the mat. Come onto your left shin, sweep the right hand up, reach overhead, look back behind you if you can. Sweep the arm back down, sit back down. This time I'll get you to place both legs out in front of you, bend your knees, and lift the hands up, reach up, rise up. And then roll down both legs. So remember, again, same sort of options there and choices, whether you can hold the foot, the ankles, or the shins. Okay, so as we let that all go, bring the soles of the feet to touch, knees open out wide, and start to walk your hands out in front of you. Hold the feet. It's yogi's choice, so if you like to hold the feet, you can sort of round a little there. That can feel super sweet. Maybe the hands out in front of you. If there's even more flexibility, you can take your hands underneath your calves and the lower legs and place your hands on the mat and take a little rounded position there as well. So yogi's choice. And start to lift your chest up, proud chest, hands behind you, lean back a little, step the feet wide, and knock the knees from left to right. Cross your legs in front of you, plant the hands, and step back to a high plank position. And then lower through knees, chest and chin, and slither forward to a cobra position. Let's take striking cobra. Hands out wide, nice big back bend. Belly button in, ground the tops of the feet, look forward. And then as you lower back down, keep your head elevated. I'd like you to take your left arm out in front of you and then bend at the elbow and let it support yourself in front of you. So it's almost like you're reading the forearm in front of you. Slightly roll to the left, so slightly roll. So you can bend your right knee and reach back for your right foot and see if you can draw the heel towards your buttock by catching the foot behind you. Now, if the forearm's there in front of you and it feels nice, you might like lower your forehead down onto it, but that's not necessary. Maybe looking forward's kind of okay, feels good. And then let go of that. Let's just switch it over. So take your right arm out in front of you, bend at the elbow, place your forearm down on the mat, slightly roll to the right, and then bend your left knee and reach your left hand back for the foot. So drawing that heel towards your buttock. Maybe for some of you it looks more like this because the flexibility isn't there at the moment, which is totally fine. Okay, so release that. Now what we'll take ourselves through now is a locust pose. So before we do that, let's just take a reset by crossing both forearms in front of us, lowering the forehead down and simply resting here for a moment. So lift the chest, swing the arms around beside your body, palms facing down. Bring the inner knees and inner ankles to touch, so create like a long snake-like setup with our legs. And you can lift the chest here. So lifting the chest might be enough. Lifting the hands off the mat might be enough with their thumbs pointing out, palms facing down. Maybe you want to attempt to lift the legs. Maybe you want to attempt to interlace the hands behind your back, squeezing the shoulder blades, extending the knuckles towards your heels, lifting everything up if you can. Hold for 2 and 1. Good job. Let's release and take the same setup for resting by placing our forearms out in front of us, lowering the forehead down. Okay, so what I've been trying to get us towards is a bow pose. So bow pose looks like this. You reach your hands back, catch your feet, right? If that's not for you, you could go back to a locust pose. If that you felt like that was too much, the back bend could feel nice in just a cobra pose or a striking cobra. So I've got some choices there for you. But if you'd like to find a bow pose, bend the knees, reach both hands back for your feet, catch the feet, and then press the feet into the hands. Tone the belly button in and up. Widen the collarbones. Look forward and soften the expression in your face. Hold for 3, for 2, and for 1. Let go of all of that. Wherever you were at, can you please press yourself back to a child's pose with the knees and the inner ankles touching, lowering the chest down on the thighs and sweeping the hands back behind you, lowering your forehead down towards the earth. Okay, I'm going to get you to stay here because this is the end of this class. The idea now is that you would be moving directly into class 5. So I'll stay with you for another moment. If this is where you want to finish your classes for the day, you're welcome to end here. It's a perfectly good rest posture. Otherwise, class 5 will be loading in a moment.